The text came through at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was in my home office in Seattle reviewing acquisition proposals when my phone lit up with the family group chat notification. Mom, stop acting like you're important. We know you're struggling. Below it, a screenshot of my LinkedIn profile. Someone had updated my job title to founder and CEO 3 months ago when we closed Series D funding. I'd kept it vague intentionally, no company name, no details. Just the title. Aunt Linda, this is embarrassing, Sarah. Just admit you're unemployed. Uncle Robert, my niece, the CEO of her bedroom startup, face with tears of joy. My brother Tyler, Mom's right. Time to get a real job instead of playing entrepreneur. I set the phone down and went back to the term sheet from the automotive company wanting to license our battery technology. $340 million over 5 years. I highlighted a clause about intellectual property rights, made a note for our legal team, and moved to the next document. The text kept coming. Tyler, seriously, Sarah, this is getting sad. You're 29. Stop with the fantasy. Mom, we're worried about you. This delusion isn't healthy. Dad, your brother has a real career at the bank. Maybe he can get you an interview for an administrative position. I'd heard variations of this for 7 years. Ever since I'd dropped out of Stanford's MBA program to work on lithium polymer battery compression in my apartment. They'd called it my science project. My expensive hobby. My quarter-life crisis. When I tried to explain the breakthrough, a new molecular bonding process that increased energy density by 340% while reducing charging time to under 8 minutes, Dad had interrupted. Sarah, that's nice, but when are you going to focus on something practical? That was 4 years ago. Since then I'd stopped trying to explain. I'd stopped attending family dinners where they'd ask when I was finally going to give up and get a real job. I'd stopped responding to Mom's weekly emails with job listings for entry-level positions that might be a good fit. I just kept working. My phone buzzed again. Aunt Linda. Remember when she said she was raising capital? Turns out it was just her maxing out credit cards, face with tears of joy. Uncle Robert. The whole family is embarrassed. Just stop. My cousin Jessica. My mom's book club keeps asking about Sarah the CEO. It's humiliating. I finished reviewing the automotive proposal, approved it with a digital signature, and forwarded it to our CFO. The deal would close next week. It would be our 7th major licensing agreement this quarter. The family group chat had gone quiet around midnight. I assumed they'd exhausted themselves and gone to bed. I was wrong. At 6:15 a.m., my phone started ringing. I let it go to voicemail. He called again immediately. Then Mom. Then Tyler. I was in the middle of a video call with our Japanese partners. It was evening in Tokyo, discussing the manufacturing facility we were opening in Osaka. I muted the call and texted the family chat. In a meeting. We'll call later. Tyler. A meeting, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. Mom. Stop lying, Sarah. This is getting pathological. The texts continued while I finished the Tokyo call, approved the Osaka facility budget, $180 million, and started my morning review of the overnight European markets. Our stock price had jumped 7% on rumors of the automotive licensing deal. At 7:30 a.m. my phone rang again. This time it was my sister Emily, who rarely participated in the family drama. You need to check Forbes, she said without preamble. Why? Just check Forbes. Dad's losing his mind. She hung up. I opened Forbes.com on my laptop. The homepage loaded. And there I was. Center of the screen. Professional headshot they'd taken 3 weeks ago. The headline, the 29-year-old who solved electric vehicles' biggest problem. Below it, Sarah Chen's revolutionary battery technology has attracted $2.8 billion in venture funding and partnerships with 7 major automotive manufacturers. Forbes exclusive interview inside. My phone exploded. Dad was calling. Mom was calling. Tyler, Aunt Linda, Uncle Robert, Jessica, cousins I hadn't heard from in years. All calling simultaneously. I let them ring. The article was comprehensive. They'd interviewed our investors, our partners, the automotive CEOs. They'd toured our facility, photographed our labs, verified our patents. They'd done 3 weeks of fact-checking before publishing. The article detailed everything. The breakthrough. the $50 million Series A in 2021, the $200 million Series B in 2022, the $600 million Series C in 2023, the $1.95 billion Series D 3 months ago that had valued the company at $2.8 billion. It included quotes from the CEO of one of the largest automotive manufacturers in the world. Sarah Chen's technology will define the next generation of electric vehicles. This isn't incremental improvement, it's revolutionary. There were photos of our 85,000 square foot facility in Seattle. Our team of 247 employees. The battery prototypes. The testing labs. And right there in the sidebar, Forbes 30 under 30, energy category. My phone had 47 missed calls. The family group chat had 89 new messages. I opened it. The tone had changed completely. Aunt Linda, I always knew Sarah was brilliant. Uncle Robert, so proud of my niece. Jessica, OMG, everyone at my office is talking about you. Tyler, hey sis, congrats. Always believed in you. Mom, we always supported your dreams, honey. I stared at the messages, my face neutral. Years of dismissal. Years of mockery. Years of being called delusional, unemployed, embarrassing. And now, because Forbes had confirmed what I'd been trying to tell them for 7 years, suddenly they'd always believed in me. Dad called again. This time I answered. Sarah. Honey. Why didn't you tell us? I tried, I said calmly. For 7 years. Well, you weren't very clear about it. We thought you were just working as a janitor? I quoted Mom's text from last night. Playing entrepreneur in my bedroom? Silence. Your mother and I are very proud, he said finally. We'd love to take you to dinner. Celebrate properly. I'm busy. Sir, come on. Don't be like that. Like what? Petty. We're family. I looked at my laptop screen. The Forbes article. The family group chat with 112 messages now. Screenshots of the article being shared. Relatives I hadn't heard from in a decade suddenly commenting with congratulations. I need to go, I said. I have actual meetings. Wait, Forbes mentioned partnerships with automotive companies. Which ones? Your brother works with several major. I hung up. By 9 a.m., my assistant had fielded calls from 6 different family members trying to reach me. Tyler wanted to discuss investment opportunities. Aunt Linda wondered if we were hiring for her son. Uncle Robert had business connections he wanted to share. Mom texted, Honey, I'm so sorry if we seemed unsupportive. We just wanted to protect you from disappointment. I didn't respond. At 10 a.m. I had a board meeting. Our lead investor from the Series A, the one who'd believed in the technology when it was just equations on a whiteboard, smiled at me across the conference table. Congratulations on the Forbes piece, she said. Well deserved. Though I'm guessing your phone's been blowing up. Family, I said simply. She nodded knowingly. Let me guess. Suddenly everyone remembers being supportive. Something like that. The board meeting proceeded. We discussed the automotive deals, the Osaka facility, preliminary conversations with 3 aerospace companies interested in the technology for electric aircraft. The CFO presented Q3 numbers. Revenue up 340%, operating at 23% profit margin, projected $890 million in revenue for the fiscal year. My phone buzzed constantly throughout. I'd silenced it, but I could see the notifications stacking up on my watch. After the meeting I finally looked. The family group chat had 247 messages. Tyler had sent a private message. Hey, I'm really sorry about last night. I didn't know. Can we talk? I'd love to learn more about what you're doing. Mom had sent an email with the subject line, Family celebration dinner, this weekend? Dad had left 3 voicemails. Aunt Linda had posted on Facebook, so proud of my brilliant niece Sarah Chen. Always knew she'd do amazing things. Hashtag Forbes 30 under 30 hashtag proud aunt. I opened Facebook. Her post had 340 likes. The comments were full of people I'd grown up with, people who'd watched my family dismiss me at gatherings for years. Someone had commented, Didn't you tell me last month she was unemployed? Aunt Linda had responded, Oh no. I said she was working on something entrepreneurial. So exciting to see it pay off. I closed Facebook. My assistant knocked on my office door. Your mother's on line 3. She says it's urgent. Tell her I'm in meetings all day. She said she'd hold. Tell her I'll call her back. My assistant hesitated. She's called 6 times already this morning. I'm aware. She left, closing the door gently behind her. I looked at the Forbes article still open on my screen. 7 years. 7 years of working 90-hour weeks. 7 years of maxing out credit cards before we got funding. 7 years of being told I was wasting my potential, embarrassing the family, living in a fantasy. And now that Forbes had confirmed it, now that external validation had arrived, suddenly they wanted to celebrate. Suddenly they'd always believed. Suddenly I was worthy of their pride. My phone rang. Emily. I answered. Hey. Mom's freaking out, she said. She's been crying all morning. About what? About, the things they said. She feels terrible. She texted me at 11:47 p.m. to tell me I was pretending to be important and that everyone knew I was struggling. Silence. That was before Forbes, Emily said quietly. I know. That's the point. Sarah, their family. They made a mistake. They didn't know. I told them. For 7 years I told them. They chose not to believe me until Forbes confirmed it. Can you blame them? You dropped out of Stanford, maxed out your credit cards, refused every job offer Dad got you. To build something revolutionary. Which I did. Emily sighed. So what, you're never going to talk to them again? I didn't say that. Then what? I looked out my office window at the Seattle skyline. The facility where 247 people came to work every day, building the future of energy storage. The labs where we'd achieved what the industry said was impossible. I'm just not interested in performing gratitude, I said, for people who only value me now that I have external validation. They're proud of you. They're proud of the Forbes article. There's a difference. Emily was quiet for a moment. Mom really is sorry. Great. She can text that to the family group chat where she publicly humiliated me last night. That's petty. Maybe. But I have 7 years of receipts showing exactly how they treated me when they thought I was struggling. So forgive me if I'm not rushing to celebrate with them now that it's convenient. I hung up. At 2 p.m. my phone rang with an unfamiliar number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Sarah Chin. A woman's voice, professional. Speaking. This is Alexandra Morrison from Good Morning America. We'd love to have you on the show to discuss your Forbes feature and your revolutionary battery technology. Would you be available for a segment this Friday? I paused. This Friday. We're very interested in the story. Young entrepreneur, major breakthrough disrupting the automotive industry. Our audience would love to hear about your journey. My journey. The 7 years of doubt, mockery, and dismissal that would get edited into a 30-second inspirational montage about following your dreams. Let me check my schedule and get back to you, I said. Of course. I'll email you the details. We're thinking a 6-minute segment live from our New York studio. We'd cover travel and accommodation, of course. After she hung up, I sat staring at my phone. Good Morning America. The family group chat had 312 messages now. I opened it. Uncle Robert had posted another screenshot of the Forbes article. My niece. Can't wait to tell everyone at the club about this. The club. The same club where he told people I was going through a phase, when I tried to explain the battery technology at a family wedding 3 years ago. Tyler, Sarah, seriously call me. I want to make things right. Mom, honey, please. We love you. We're so proud. Let's talk. Dad, your mother's very upset. This isn't like you to hold a grudge. I set the phone down. At 4 p.m. my CFO knocked on my door. The automotive licensing deal closed. $340 million confirmed. Wire transfer will hit tomorrow. Great. Thank you. She lingered in the doorway. You okay? You seem distracted. Family stuff. She nodded knowingly. The Forbes article? Yeah. Let me guess. Suddenly everyone wants to reconnect. Something like that. She smiled sympathetically. My family did the same thing when we went public. Relatives I hadn't heard from in years suddenly had investment advice and business opportunities. She paused. For what it's worth, the people who believed in you when you were working out of your apartment, those are your real family. After she left, I thought about that. The early investors who'd taken a chance on theoretical technology. The first 10 employees who'd joined when we could barely make payroll. The partners who'd believed in the science when everyone else said it was impossible. Those people had seen the value before Forbes confirmed it. My family had needed external validation to believe what I'd been telling them for 7 years. At 6 p.m. I was about to leave when my phone rang. Mom again. I answered. Sarah, thank God. I've been trying to reach you all day. I've been working. Of course, honey. Of course. Listen, I need to apologize. Last night's text, I was worried about you. We all were. We thought you were struggling financially and just pretending everything was fine. We didn't know about the Forbes article or the company valuation or any of it. Because you didn't ask. You assumed. We wanted to protect you from disappointment. By calling me delusional, embarrassing, unemployed. Silence. We made a mistake, she said finally. A big one. We should have listened. We should have believed you. You should have respected me enough to take me seriously instead of waiting for Forbes to tell you I was legitimate. You're right. You're absolutely right. Can we talk about this? In person? This weekend? I looked at the email from Good Morning America on my screen. The interview request. The opportunity to tell my story to millions of people. I can't this weekend, I said. I have a television interview in New York. A television what? Good Morning America wants to do a segment. About the Forbes article and the technology. I could hear her processing this. That's wonderful, honey. Congratulations. Thank you. Maybe the weekend after? We could all get together. Celebrate properly. Maybe. Sarah, please. We love you. We're proud of you. We want to support you. Where was that support? I said calmly. When I was maxing out credit cards to fund the initial research. When I was working 90-hour weeks in my apartment. When I was explaining the breakthrough to anyone who'd listen. We didn't understand. Because you didn't try. You decided I was having a crisis instead of building something real. And nothing I said mattered until Forbes confirmed it for you. That's not fair. Isn't it? Read last night's texts. Tell me that's support. He was crying now. I'm sorry. We're all sorry. What do you want us to do? I don't know, Mom. Maybe start by acknowledging that your love and respect shouldn't require external validation. That your daughter's word should have been enough. I hung up. At 7 p.m. I was driving home when Tyler called. Hey, he said when I answered. I know you're pissed. You have every right to be. Okay. I was an asshole. For years. I made fun of your startup and called it a bedroom business and told everyone you were unemployed. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I waited. I guess I'm calling because I want to understand. Why didn't you just tell us? Show us proof? Make us believe you. I tried. No, I mean actually prove it. Show us the funding. The patents. The partnerships. I pulled into my driveway and sat in the car. Tyler, I spent 7 years trying to explain what I was building. Every time someone interrupted to tell me to get a real job. Every family gathering, someone made a joke about my expensive hobby. Every conversation ended with someone suggesting I apply for entry-level positions at real companies. But if you'd shown us the money wasn't the point. The technology was the point. The breakthrough was the point. And none of you cared enough to listen. We thought you were delusional. Because you assumed the worst instead of believing in me. Silence. So what now? He asked finally. You just cut us all off? No. But I'm not pretending that everything's fine. You don't get to mock me for 7 years and then celebrate with me the moment Forbes validates what I've been telling you all along. That's fair. He paused. For what it's worth, I really am proud of you. Even if I should have been proud all along. Thanks. After he hung up, I sat in my car for a long time looking at my phone. The family group chat had 389 messages now. Screenshots of the Forbes article. Congratulations. Pride. Relatives sharing the news with their own networks. And not one person had acknowledged that less than 24 hours ago, they'd been calling me delusional. I opened the email from Good Morning America and typed my response. Thank you for the invitation. I'd be happy to participate in Friday's segment. Then I opened a new text to the family group chat. I appreciate everyone's congratulations. For the record, the company has existed for 7 years, the technology has been in development for 8, and I've been trying to explain this to all of you since 2017. The only thing that changed yesterday was Forbes confirming what I'd been telling you all along. I'll be on Good Morning America this Friday discussing the breakthrough. You're welcome to watch. I hit send. The responses came immediately. Mom, we'll definitely watch, honey. So proud. Tyler, recording it for sure. Aunt Linda, can't wait to tell everyone. My niece on GMA. I set my phone to do not disturb and went inside. The house was quiet. 3 bedrooms, 2 offices, a kitchen I rarely used because I worked too much. I'd bought it 2 years ago with my Series B earnings. A modest place by tech CEO standards but comfortable. The family had never seen it. They'd never asked to visit. They'd assumed I was struggling, living in a studio apartment somewhere, barely making rent. I made tea and sat on the couch, thinking about Alexander Morrison's question. Would you like to share your journey? My journey. What would I even say? I built something revolutionary while my family called me delusional. I achieved something incredible despite my family's complete lack of support. I proved everyone wrong, but I shouldn't have had to. The truth was messier than a television segment could capture. The truth was 7 years of complexity, of hurt, of perseverance despite being dismissed by the people who were supposed to believe in me. And now they wanted to celebrate. Now they wanted to be proud. Now that Forbes had told them it was okay. My phone buzzed despite being on Do Not Disturb. Emergency contacts only. Emily, I know you're not taking calls. But I wanted to say you're right. They should have believed you without Forbes. And I'm sorry I didn't defend you more. I was proud of you the whole time. I just didn't say it loud enough. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed, "Thank you. That means a lot." She responded immediately, "For what it's worth, you don't owe them anything. Not forgiveness, not a celebration dinner, not a relationship if you don't want one. You built something amazing despite them, not because of them. Remember that." I set the phone down and looked around my quiet house. 7 years. $2.8 billion valuation. Revolutionary technology. Forbes feature. Good Morning America interview. And all I could think about was Mom's text from last night. "Stop acting like you're important. We know you're struggling." The tea had gone cold by the time I picked up my phone again. I opened the family group chat. Dad had posted, "Looking forward to the GMA interview. Going to record it and show everyone at the office." The office. Where he'd been telling people for years that his daughter was figuring things out, and between opportunities. I started typing a response, then deleted it. What was the point? They'd seen Forbes. They'd believe Forbes. And maybe that was enough. Maybe I didn't need them to understand the 7 years of struggle. Maybe I didn't need them to acknowledge how wrong they'd been. Maybe I didn't need them to apologize for every dismissive comment, every mocking text, every assumption that I was failing. Maybe I just needed to keep building. The technology was real. The breakthrough was real. The $2.8 billion valuation was real. And I'd done it all without their belief. That, I thought, was its own kind of validation. Better than Forbes. Better than Good Morning America. Better than any external confirmation could ever be. I'd proven to myself that I could achieve something extraordinary despite everyone doubting me. And that was something no article could take away. My phone buzzed again. Another family member. Another congratulations. Another always knew you'd succeed. I set it to airplane mode and opened my laptop. There was work to do. The aerospace companies were waiting. The Osaka facility needed final approvals. The Q4 projections needed review. I had a company to run. A breakthrough to commercialize. A future to build. And whether my family believed in me or not, whether they celebrated me or not, that work would continue. Because I'd learned something important over 7 years. External validation was temporary. Self-belief was permanent. And I'd built a $2.8 billion company on the foundation of believing in myself when no one else did. That was a story worth telling. Even if it wasn't the neat, inspirational narrative Good Morning America wanted. It was the truth. And the truth, I'd learned, was more valuable than any amount of external validation could ever be. Even from Forbes. Even from family. Even from people who'd spent 7 years waiting for someone else to tell them I was worth believing in. I closed my laptop and looked out the window at Seattle's skyline. Tomorrow I'd fly to New York. I'd sit on a television set and talk about breakthrough technology and entrepreneurship and following your dreams. And I'd smile. And I'd be gracious. And I'd tell the inspiring story they wanted to hear. But I'd know the real story. The 7 years of struggle. The family who doubted. The text messages and mockery and dismissal. And I'd know that I'd succeeded despite all of it. Not because of Forbes. Not because of Good Morning America. But because I'd believed in the breakthrough when no one else did. And that belief had been enough.